Waking up to your true self can feel like waking up in someone else's life, like suddenly realizing you've been living inside the husk of an identity that no longer fits. You look around and see patterns of behavior, relationships, and habits that don't belong to you anymore. For a long time, fear made change feel impossible. A thick fog of fear-based shame can keep you acting instead of feeling, performing instead of living. You survive, but you don't inhabit yourself. And then one day, something shifts. It feels like closing a door. Not out of anger, not out of regret, but out of readiness. An old life ends, and something new finally begins. Many failures aren't caused by lack of talent or effort, but by being emotionally dysregulated, ungrounded, and driven by ego without awareness. When you're dissociated and reacting from emotion alone, it's impossible to build a foundation that actually matters. A fear-based shame identity drains you. It leads to exhaustion, isolation, and confusion, because you're not being who you really are. Eventually, you begin to accept something radical. You don't have manual control over everything. That urgent voice saying, "Fix this now," isn't wisdom, it's just old code running a familiar pattern. Since the collapse of the old reality, the real work becomes learning how to rest, learning how to care for yourself, learning the difference between wisdom and the constant chatter of insecurity. Authenticity becomes more important than image. You realize that healing doesn't come from understanding more, it comes from carrying less. Think of a ship. It moves effortlessly not because it carries everything, but because it carries only what's essential. No unnecessary weight, no redundant parts. That's how you move through life when you stop holding what isn't yours. This is the alchemy of the soul, the ability to breathe and transmute. When you ask for help, it often arrives disguised as crisis, but that is the help. It only looks like a crisis because of how fear interprets change. Help often carries the symbols of what you're afraid of. That's what transformation looks like when you're still learning to trust it. Every uncertainty becomes an ingredient. Every moment of sorrow digs a deeper reservoir for peace. An old identity may need to die for this gift to arrive, because through the old mind, where you are now would look like failure. Through a new mind, it feels like standing on a mountaintop. You are consciousness, and the real work is choosing who you're aware of yourself to be. When your self-concept resonates, your thoughts, your actions, and your perspective begin to align naturally. You don't force flow, you become it. You are a body of resonance and knowing, joyful, embodied, alive. What once felt hollow now feels warm, steady, like a star burning quietly in your chest. Your senses begin to bloom. The world becomes vivid, artistic, almost overwhelming in its beauty. And for the first time, you're ready for that. The best anxiety medication isn't something you swallow, it's doing what you actually want to do. Every time you act against your truth, anxiety whispers, "Flow." You are a bold creator, a living generator of meaning. Opportunities and people begin to orbit not because you chase them, but because you're coherent with yourself. You step into a world of your own design, not to dominate it, but to serve it, to solve real problems, to help others learn, to build something meaningful. This is where creation becomes joy. It's time to stop telling the story of your past and start telling the story of your future. To return to the version of you that existed before survival became the goal, the one who just wanted one good day without fighting. Fear no longer leads, joy does. You are empty of shame, empty of inauthenticity. You're like a rare flower growing from the side of a near vertical cliff, blooming slowly, but blooming for a very long time, ready to stand fully in the stream and receive what's coming. You are safe. You are protected. You belong here. You are ready to be surprised by goodness, by beauty, by grace. You step into the chute that carries you forward, and instead of resisting the fall, you ride it. Watching everything you've ever wanted arrive like the birth of stars.